Who wants to? Okay? You all have what it takes.
Our emotions directly affect the structure of our DNA, which directly shapes the physical world we experience every day. So the messages left by the ancients that we've explained here were more than just prophecies about a one-world government or a new world order. We now understand why the study of the heavenly bodies were so important. The rotation and orbit of all that makes up our universe serves as a clock to map changes and transitions. This helped the ancients understand that the change of the heavenly bodies were a mirror to the changes of all existence. December 21st, 2012 is simply a natural transition from one form of energy to the next, the transcendental evolution of man. This date is what's known as 0 point. Our sun, as well as our planet Earth, is losing its magnetic field as the Earth is slowing in its rotation. All the while, its base resonant frequency, also known as the Schumann cavity resonance, is increasing in accordance with the predictable sequence of the Fibonacci theory. At a cellular level, our bodies respond to an electromagnetic pulse. The ancients called this the sacred circuit. The cells receive this pulse from the brain, which receives its pulse from the heart, which receives its pulse from the earth. This pulse comes from the solar system, which from there comes from the galaxy, which ultimately comes from our entire universe. We literally share a pulse with all of existence. Yet another example of everything being one. For as long as scientists have been recording the Earth's pulse, it has remained at approximately 7.8 cycles per second. This was a constant fixed number until 1986 into 1987. It rapidly began increasing to about 9 cycles per second in 1996. So in one decade, it increased by about 2 cycles per second. By 2012, this pulse will be right around 13 cycles per second, just as the Fibonacci theory indicates. What does this mean for humanity? Just as cymatics has shown that higher frequencies result in more complex patterns, we are now experiencing the beginning of a major shift in both physical and spiritual vibration.
Our ability to perceive the world around us is going to expand. By no choice, by no studying, by no getting ready, your ability as a spiritual being is going to go from here, which is what we most see, to about here. You're going to see things on the side of you. You're going to see movements. You're going to see energy in between you and the person that you're talking to. You're going to perceive thoughts. You're going to see beings that you thought were dead being able to get closer to you and to have conversations with you. Because as this compression of time comes, because the damn universe is moving, reality expands.
But this is where it brings us, the relevance in our lives, because we all are having experiences every day, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. Those experiences are physically affecting our bodies and our world.
So many people are living their lives thinking that it's just cause and effect on the most gross level of, like, if a human being does something, that's what happens, or if nature does something, that's what happens, but there's no other causality. And it's this magical awakening that happens when you start to see a connection between your thoughts and the manifestation that happens.
Yeah. Because of a cosmic flow of energy that's moving through this universe that can be measured scientifically. Because we sit at the end of a 26,000-year cycle called the precession of the equinox. Our little galaxy, this 1.1 billion planets and stars called the Milky Way, has now traveled 26,000 years to circle what we call the signs of the zodiacs, but through each of the 12 constellations that we now know to be our particular part of the universe.
The space that we believe is empty is not really so empty. It's full of a living essence, of a living material that we're only beginning to understand, number one. And number two, the fact, and it is a fact now, that we may have experiences inside of our bodies that influence the world beyond our bodies through the conduit of what's in this space.
The Creator essentially gave us the greatest gift we could ever ask for, which is our free will. The universe fragmented into untold trillions and trillions and trillions of different pieces, apparent pieces, each of which has its own free will to make the choices it wants to make.
Quantum science today suggests the possibility of many, many experiences for every moment of our lives. For example, for each experience that we have of disease or illness or war in our world, another opportunity, another possibility exists where those things never happened. There is something that we can do in our lives that influence not only the physical body, ours and those of other people around us, but literally influence the physical reality of our world, and that changes everything. It changes everything.
One day you will come to a point in your life that it'll be over. You'll let that breath out. You'll lift out of your body. And the first thing that you will think is you will not drink with God ever again. Because you realize you had to have been drunk for him or her to talk you into getting into that stupid lump of fat anyway. No, never again. The next thing, as you move down this tunnel and come into a place of light, here's what will happen. You'll be reunited with a spiritual being. God, Buddha, Mohammed, everybody has a term for it. Because no one can accept the fact that they are divine, powerful, mighty spiritual beings. That being that you reconnect with when you get over there is you. If we're all connected and we're all one, no one's ever left anywhere. You have never left heaven.
You see, our bodies will change, and now we know, our own researchers have validated that what we've always believed was a fixed code of DNA is not fixed. We live a variable code of DNA. It's like we came into this world with very specific parameters preset at the factory, if you will, the factory options. And as we come to terms with what life offers to us, we have the opportunity to turn on new patterns, to turn on new codes.
That the DNA molecule changes its form based on the energy that you send to it with your consciousness.
It doesn't have to be a long, slow, drawn-out process. It can happen very, very quickly. It can happen in a matter of minutes.
We do know that when you feel anger, that your DNA gets damaged. The DNA can unwind and get damaged when you have the anger.